zero pro, but what I do, and you can hopefully see a connection to what Donna just talked about, there's certainly lots of things that I need to improve on, and I got lots of ideas from that book of specific things that I need to improve on, but the gist of it is what I do. So I'm gonna tell you about that. So first of all, what I want to know, Donna didn't quite talk about this, but we want to talk about your sponsoring ratio. And a sponsoring ratio is when you take how many jewelry shows that you have done, either in a year or a period of time, or you could do forever. We usually look at like a year. And we divide it by the number of people we have sponsored. So if you did 70 home shows and you sponsored 7 people, and then your ratio is for every 10 shows you do, you sponsor 1, which would be good. Now, you guys know how many shows you've done in the past year and how many people you sponsored. If your sponsoring ratio is like 25 to 1, we got to get that down. My sponsoring ratio is 4, okay? It means every time I do a jewelry show, 4 jewelry shows, I expect to sponsor 1 person. So that's a minimum. Since I do 5 to 6 home shows a month, I'm sponsoring 1 to 2. So I sponsored 15 people last year. I sponsored 10 since Rally, okay? So since July, I have sponsored 10. So that's your sponsoring ratio. So we want to get our sponsoring ratio down. And once you know your sponsoring ratio, it kind of becomes fun. All right, well, if I need 3 more people, how many shows do I need to hold? So let's just go hold more shows, and I will move through the process faster. You are in control, okay? How many of you made the consistency challenge in January? Could you please stand? Just stand up. Own it, girls. Let's give them a round of applause. Now, Premier is really focusing on 5 home shows a month. And you know, that's what I've always done. I've always focused on I want 5 home shows a month. Why 5? It's the sponsoring ratio. If you're doing 5 shows a month, you have a consistent business, you're going to start sponsoring. And the other half of the consistency challenge is sponsoring, okay? You can double the free jewelry by sponsoring 7. So if you want all that jewelry, because we love jewelry, we need to do shows and we need to sponsor. So how do we sponsor more? It's a really simple, easy answer, okay? Well, simple, not easy. The simple answer is we've got to get that sponsoring ratio down, which means that we've got to get the marketing plan in front of more people. It is a numbers game. Marketing plan in front of people, not your sponsoring activity. You can't go, well, there's 10 people at a show and I do 5 shows, so I'm presenting the marketing plan to 50 people a month. No. They're merely listening to you. A sponsoring activity is really an enticement activity. We're trying to get them interested. That's all that is. Are you intrigued? Do you want to hear more? And then we've got to present the marketing plan. So presenting the marketing plan is meeting one-on-one and taking about 40 minutes of time and going over either the brochure or something you've made yourself, okay? Then you go over all the aspects of being a jewelry lady and why they want it, the $3.95, the buying the boutique, the Premier card, the whole deal, okay? Or coming to a group activity, a group OP. So someone that's very familiar with it gets up and does their little spiel and you bring a guest, okay? That can count as the marketing plan. Or you can use a tool like Dawn was saying. You can use a video. I use my video, you can use the Draper's video, I don't care whose video you use, but that is the easiest possible way to get the marketing plan in front of a lot of people, okay? It is the absolute easiest. Using a phone call or using a video and then following up. So I'm going to teach you how you take them from getting that information to getting in front of you personally, okay? So we've got to get the marketing plan in front of people. How are we going to get the marketing plan in front of people? We've got to meet people. So if we're going to meet people, the easiest way in this business to meet people is to do that's right. So we want to do more jewelry shows. So some of you are like, I know, I would do 20 if they'd call me. How are we going to get more jewelry shows? All right, I want to share with you what I am doing right now that is phenomenal. You want to know? I've been in 8 years. I've definitely had my periods where I have not had jewelry shows, and I've had to do some crazy things to get jewelry shows. And with this consistency challenge, it was no different. I went into Rally not knowing about the consistency challenge, just like you. And I think I had 3 shows for January. I have never in 8 years done more than 3 shows. There's only 1 year I ever did 3 shows. Every other year I did 1 or 2 shows in January. So I'm no different than any of you, okay? Struggled through my January. Well, consistency challenge, so what did I do? I put out there, well, I, did a lot of things. But one of the things that I'm doing right now that's really, really helpful is fundraisers. And so what I'm going to tell you is that when you need jewelry shows, you need to get generous. Okay? So I'm going to tell you how to get generous. Number 1 is fundraisers. Give your money away. Give half of it away. It's a lot easier to go and ask someone to give them something than that it's a mental thing for you. Like, I have no problem asking people for shows, but a lot of you guys can't get quite past to asking for a favor. So now you're asking, can I do you a favor? Do you have a cause that you care about? And it can be just a gal that was in an accident and she needs money, or the son is sick. It could be someone had a fire. It could be a new young mom and she's just, she doesn't want to go back to work. It could be anything. Put it out there on Facebook. Do you have a cause that you care about? Message me. It's Fundraiser February. I've gotten 3 fundraisers, at least, just for February. Just for February. And one of those fundraisers, I'm giving away all of my profit. It's worth it. That was for something that I really cared about. It's my teacher, my son's favorite teacher. And she's got cancer. And she asked me, she responded to that Facebook post and said, would you do a fundraiser for the research group for my particular type of cancer? So I said, yes, I will, and I'll give away all my profits. And I've contacted the different teachers, and they're all coming to my house because she's going to try to come. And so they're excited to see her, and the kids are going to come, and they're going to bring cards. And it might be the last time. But that's an opportunity for me to serve and to do a good thing. I'm being generous. So be generous. Get your business going. Another place that you can be generous is with your booking activity. And booking activity, last year, I don't know if I've forgotten the number, I've blocked it out, but I believe between January and April last year, I had 28 cancellations. Hello. Okay. Barbara, did I cry? I cried a lot. It's not fun to get 28 cancellations, sometimes 2 and 3 in a day. I held 20 shows in 4 months, and I canceled 28. So in March last year, I was like, what am I going to do? And I can't, you remember that? And I can't. I'm bold. I'm loud. So before I went to the show, I was like, what am I going to do? And I came up with this idea, and it worked like gangbusters. And so, again, this is what you pull out of your pocket when you want more shows. It's not a cheap booking activity. It is not a $1 booking activity, okay? So what you do is you make these $20 bills. And you go to your show, and you go through, all the jewelry and make them fall in love with it. And you go, okay, ladies, now I have a special deal for you today. If you decide to get a few of your friends together and have me come over and show you all these fun jewelry and fashion tips again, then I am going to give you $20 in free jewelry. So I'm going to give you a $20 bill, you keep it, and you hand it back to me the night of your show, because I won't remember. And you give it to me, and I'm going to add $20 to that already ginormous amount of free jewelry from your day. Do you love it? And always get affirmation. It's good for you, and it's good for them. So do you love it? All right, well, that is not all. Because if you decide to have your jewelry show it's the end of February. This is the middle of February. So I would say, if you decide to have your jewelry show in March, then I am going to give you 2 $20 bills. But that's not all. If you have your jewelry show by the end of February, I'm not giving you 1. I'm not giving you 2. I'm giving you 3 $20 bills. That's $60 in extra free jewelry if you have it in the next 2 months. So, 1 20, 2 20s, or 3 20s? She wants 3! Okay? Don't ask them if they want a 20. Ask them if they want 1, 2, or 3. You'll so frazzle them, they're like, well, I don't want 3, I'll take 1. I've seen it happen. It's pretty funny. But yes, that would cost me a bit of money. But if I have, and this happened to me that night, the first time I did it, a gal booked and she did it 2 weeks later. And she already had $60 in free jewelry. She got her pre-sale. She was up to $160 in free jewelry. That woman wasn't canceling her show. It was a $1,400 show and I got 4 bookings. It restarted my business. Okay, so you've got to be generous. All right, now, Dawn already mentioned this, but a personal home show, and I wanted to encourage you, since we're looking to sponsor, do it as a blingo night. Focus, do a little bit of jewelry, but do a big, more on Premier itself. Tell them all about Premier and play that game. And you can look online a little more about Blingo. We can talk later, but do a Blingo night, but definitely do a personal home show. Do a personal home show. You could, right now, since we can do a personal home show, you could set a date. Like the 3rd Friday of every month, you're going to have a personal home show so that you can constantly invite people to it and be getting orders, outside sales. It's a Girl Scout troop downstairs that's making all that noise. All right. Also, another way to be generous. If you need a date really fast, offer a watch. Okay, again, it's going to cost you money, but if you're going to win $7,000 in free jewelry, it's worth it, okay, to get that 5th show. All right, now that we have the shows, here's a tough question for you. How many times a month, and this is a tough question for me too, okay? I might sponsor a lot, but I don't think about this, and I don't really work very hard at this. I need to get better. How many times in a month do you get the marketing plan in front of people? Yeah, I mean, really, we are not the queens at this, okay? So we might say, well, maybe do like 1 OP a month, and I go to 1 group OP, 2 times. Maybe somebody's doing really good in this room might say 6. We've got to improve that, okay? We've got to improve that. I've got to improve that too. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to focus on 3 groups. Ready? We're going to focus on hostesses, guests, and everyone else outside of the show. So let's start with our hostesses. This is the easiest group. How many in this room, how many people in this room were a hostess or were going to become a hostess and change their mind and became a jewelry lady? Raise your hand. Okay? Excellent. Look at that. Okay? Look, keep them up. Look around again. That is 2/3 of the room. So who, if you want to sponsor, should you be focusing on? Hostesses. Your hostesses. Out of the last 10 people, 8 of them were going to be a hostess or were a hostess. Okay? 8 out of 10. So if you're going to focus on anybody, if there's one thing you walk out of this room and you do, it's focus on your hostesses. So how do you focus on your hostesses? First of all, when you're at a jewelry show, always do a strong sponsoring activity. That gets her thinking before she even books, okay? Then, because we're gonna talk about that in a minute, but hopefully we can get her enticed. But let's say she books a show, we're going to ask her to watch the video, okay? And I have a follow-along sheet for my video because I want all that information. She's going to tell me in that follow-along what her level of interest is. She's going to tell me what her objection is, and she's going to tell me 6 people that she could book a show with. So even if she doesn't, if her interest level is 1, you now have 6 leads that you're going to be looking for at the show. So you're going to ask her to watch that video, and then you're going to remind her, okay? Now, you've got to give her a prize. I give her a prize that is a jewelry organizer. This is an example of one that I just bought at Marshall's for $7, okay? You can get them on the incentive site, but it's got to be a nice jewelry organizer.
This is your hostess gift?
This is my hostess gift, only if she watches the video.
Oh.
And I take a picture of it, and I say, hey, I'm going to come. Okay, this is my second thing here with your hostesses. You're going to get her to watch the video. Number 2, everyone on my team could probably say this in unison. We're going to home hostess coach her. I have been preaching this. If you want my business, then do my business my way. Your business my way, which is home hostess coach. And I know it's a pain, and I know it takes time, but it's worth it. Drive the hour. I do it, okay? If you can't be creative, FaceTime her, do whatever you can can do. Coaching her is so critical, but getting in front of her face to face is when you can say, hey, Erica, did you watch that video? Like I reminded you to with that picture before I came. And I watched it. And she's so proud of herself that she does it. She's always so proud. And she gives it to me, and I look at it. Immediately I look at that number. And Erica is a 4. Okay? And I say, oh, Erica, you're a 4. What made you a 4 and not a 1? That's a critical statement. You should write that down. What made you a 4 and not a 1? And she's going to tell me. She's going to tell me something she liked about it. So I'm going to build on that. I've already got her objection on that paper. So I'm then going to go immediately and talk. I see, well, that's great. Now I see that you're really concerned about booking shows, but yet you wrote down 6 women, and we're going to talk about that. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start a 2-step dance. Okay, it's a 2-step. And it's just, this is what I do. What's your number? Overcome your objection. What's your number now? Overcome the next objection. What's your number now? Overcome the next objection. What's your number now? And I just keep doing that until she goes, I'm an 8. I'm still an 8. I'm an 8 already. Okay, once she's like, I'm not moving, because if she's a 4 and then she's a 6 and now I take her to an 8, and I'll even go, that's awesome, I made you an 8. You know, I mean, we have fun together. We're having fun. And we just keep doing this dance until I can't get her any further. Now, here's the critical thing that he talks about in his book, Go Pro, Eric Worre. He says, never leave a date without getting another appointment. So if I feel that I have hit a wall and I can't go any further, she needs to think, she needs to pray, she needs to talk to her husband, she needs to count her chickens. I don't know what she needs to do, but she's not ready yet. Then I say to her, can I call you tomorrow at 3? Tuesday at 4, Wednesday at 7, okay? And we work it out, and I write it down, and that's where my follow-up better be good. And I better call her at that time. And then at that phone call, if she's still, you know, get the call for the next one. All right, your hostess, if she still does not make the decision before her show, if she's on the fence still, you can say this. This is a great line. Well, it's going to be your payday, or it's going to be mine. Somebody's making the money, and I think it should be you. Okay, so you can say that to her. It's the truth. And then if she still doesn't decide, Vicki didn't decide. So it was my payday. I made $400 at her show, her people. And she saw that I get paid a sparkle sheet. So powerful. And she's like, what? And so then she decides to become a jewelry lady after. It's not over, even though their show is held. Alicia took months. She kept coming to my events. If the people keep showing up, there's a reason. If they keep coming to your open houses, there's a reason. So pursue them. I've had people that it took years, okay? So you've got to continue to stay connected. Hostesses. Okay, let's talk about our guests. What I'm doing now is I do a strong sponsoring activity. Now, one of the things that Eric Worre talks about is your story. And when I heard that, I had moved away from my Love It bag, and I was doing the checks, which is a great sponsoring activity. Okay, there's nothing wrong with it. But I had had success for years with my Love It bag, which was telling my story. And that was where my strength was. And I went away from that, even though it was working, and tried something new, because it seemed fun. And when I heard Go Pro, I was like, he's saying tell your story. That's what I've done forever. Why am I not doing my story? And so I went back to my Love It bag. So we all do that, but if something's working for you, stay with it. Just because it's new and exciting isn't something you should definitely try. No. Okay, so what I do is I believe strongly that every jeweler should have a 2-minute story. It should be memorized. You should be able to say it at the drop of a hat. My jewelers, we have what Premier has done for us. Donna actually did this years ago, and that's what I read when I became a jewelry lady. And so I've created one for my own team, and it's on my website. You can take that, put yourself into it. Don't use it unless you put yourself on the paper. Gives you credibility. Write your own 2-minute story, put your little picture on there, and then hand it out. Put it, people get it out like, ooh, she's somebody. She's in the packet. Okay? You're in the packet. I mean, get yourself in the packet, okay? So your 2-minute story. I believe strongly in a 2-minute story. Your 2-minute story should say, like Donna already went over, your 2-minute story should say something about who you were, you know, your past. It should say the reason that you were looking for Premier, what Premier has done for you, that the transformation that Premier has brought, both financially and personally. If you only focus on the financial, you're missing a big market of people. So time, emotion, self-esteem, friendships, fitting in, recognition. Mention some of that. Then your hope for the future. And then I like to end it with an invitation. You know, you need to check this out for yourself. Now, if saying a 2-minute story in your shows scares you, oh my God, can I read it? That's where the Love It Bag comes in. The Love It Bag is your 2-minute story with prompts. So it's just a bunch of little sentences. So you say, ladies, you've been telling me why you love it. Now let me tell you why I love it. And I just go through the things from my 2-minute story. So really fast, my 2-minute story is this. I'm Julie David, and I used to be a 7th grade American history teacher. I did that for 8 years. Then I had my twins, and I decided I wanted to be a stay-at-home mom, so I quit my job. We went from 2 incomes to 1, and it was a drastic event. We never had enough money for our budget, never, in 5 years. So I started to babysit, and I babysat twice a week to make $500 a month. But still, we never had enough. So we became a 1-car family. We had another baby, so we had 3. We never went out to eat. I never bought myself a pair of shoes, but we were happy. We were debt-free, but we were struggling. Well, then Premier came into my life, and I thought, oh my gosh, this is totally not for me. If I walked into a room full of women like you, I would seriously have a heart attack. Like, I couldn't come up to people and talk. I had no self-esteem. I had no courage to go up to a group of women and think you possibly want to talk to me. This was just not for me. I didn't wear any jewelry. But God had different plans. And I said yes. And when I said yes, everything changed. In that very first show, I made $500. $500, that's what it took all month for me to make babysitting. So my husband and I did the happy dance, and we decided that I should start doing 5 home shows every month, wouldn't you? I mean, that was pretty awesome. We became a 2-income family. In that first year, I made $30,000. It radically changed our lives. We were able to buy my husband a car. We bought me, within 2 years, a new house. Our kids went to private school. They went to Disney. The money was great, but my husband will tell you that the greatest thing that Premier ever did for us was that it gave me self-esteem. And I am forever grateful for the friendships and the courage that I've gotten because of Premier. So I would love for you to take a couple minutes and just check out if Premier might be for you. Now, if you can't do that, I'm going to do the same thing with my Love It Bag. Okay, ladies, these are the reasons that I love Premier. I love Premier because of my adorable kids. I used to be a 7th grade teacher, and when I had them, I did not want to work all day long and be away from them. Premier's allowed me to be a stay-at-home mom. I have provided private school for them, braces for them, and even a trip to Disney, all because of Premier. Another thing that I love about Premier is the incredible 50%. Every time I go out and do a jewelry show, I make $200 or $300 because I make 50% of everything I make. And this money, I used to make $500 babysitting twice a week, every week. I now sometimes make $500 in one night. So I love it. I love that I can make my own schedule. Isn't that awesome? I love it. It's so fun. Are you ready for this? And this is not my size, okay? But I love the amazing support that Premier gives me and all the training and the friendships and the fun. It's just so fabulous. And one of the things that I didn't even realize that I would love so much to find it in here is the recognition. And I usually have a charm bracelet in here. I don't see where it's at. I think I took them out to show somebody. But I pull out my charm bracelet. And one of the things that I love about Premier is that we used to be a 1-car family. One of the first things we bought with our money was a new car for my husband. So I absolutely love Premier, and I would really like to invite you to check it out. Now, you might think Premier is not for you, and that's okay. I I still want you to check it out because I'm going to pay you to be my marketing department. That's another line you should write down. I'm going to pay you to be my marketing department. I'm going to give you this check right here on how you can earn $1,000 a month. And it's got a video and a phone call on the back. And if you watch that video or you listen to that phone call in the next couple of days and we talk on the phone, I'm going to add a free clip it to your order. Does anybody love that?
Love it.
So I want you to take this. Now I have a really great referral program, so I'll tell you about that if you watch it. I have a really, really great referral program. So I want you to take this and I hand it out to everybody, okay? All right, now, that's your guests at your shows. Now, secret. My hostesses are guests at the show. So I say to them, Peggy, you need to double dip, honey. You need to watch this video right now. Get the free clip it. Fill the paper out while you watch it for the clip it, and then you're done. Your homework's done. When I come home hostess, when I come coach you, we come talk about your show, you already have that done. I want her to watch it right away, and those are the people that often watch my video. I probably get 2 or 3 a show, that's it, that watch that video. At checkout, I will say, Peggy, were you going to watch my video? You're going to watch it? Great. And then I set a time to call her. I've got to remember to do that, and that is a struggle for me. So you've got to kind of have a zone when you're going to make phone calls and put them into that zone. And then I call her, and I say, Peggy, did you get a chance to watch the video? She goes, yeah. I said, well, what did you think? What's one thing you liked? She goes, oh, I just loved how confident you were, or something like that. They always say something nice, because it's me, so they're talking about me. When they talk to you, they'll talk substance, you know. To me, they want to tell me I did a good job. I don't know. But anyway, I say, oh, that's great. Well, what was your number from 1 to 10 of your level of interest? And they go, girlfriend, I'm a 0, -5. That is totally fine. And I tell them about my referral program. And I tell them, hey, you know, if you ever meet somebody and they want some free jewelry and you tell them my name and they book a show with me, I'm going to give you $50 in free jewelry on that show. But if they become a jewelry lady, if you meet somebody that needs this, I'm going to give you $100 in free jewelry. Oh, and they're always very appreciative. Okay, now, the last group is everyone else. Everyone else in your life, and this is something you can go out tonight and work on. You need to get this marketing plan, a video or phone call, in front of your friends, your family, and anyone you meet. You can run contests. You can ask them to be referral centers because they know so many people. You can meet them for lunch and practice doing the marketing plan for them in person. Okay? You can ask strangers to watch the video and offer them a present. You can do a contest. Everybody that watches this in the next 48 hours is going to have a chance to win a watch. Remember my Be Generous? You need to reinvest into your business. If you're not reinvesting into your business, then it's not going to grow. No business can grow if you're not reinvesting into it. So quit pinching every single penny and go, well, I want my 50%. Okay, so maybe it's 45 because you took 5% and you dumped it back into your business, but watch that 5 grow the rest of it. Okay, I am not stingy. I give catalogs away. I give prizes away. Okay, so we're going to do the contest. These are your action steps. You ready? Number 1, fill your calendar. Look for ways to be generous to others. Number 2, write your 2-minute story. Yes, it's hard. I'm sort of a 2-minute story horse whisperer. So I can help you if you need me to. I can take facts. Can I not, girls? I'm pretty good about it. So if you need help, call me. But a 2-minute story, and memorize it and share it often. Call everybody up and go, I've got to memorize this and I just want to practice it. Can I bounce it off of you? And then ask them to watch the video. Number 1 was fill your calendar. Number 2 was write your 2-minute story and memorize it. Number 3 was practice your sponsoring activity. You've got to make it strong and powerful. You have to practice it in front of a mirror, practice it in front of your friends. Go out to lunch and go, girls, can we just take a minute? I'm going to practice my sponsoring activity. Maybe they'll like it. Okay? Number 4, make a check or a business card or I also sometimes do a $1,000 bill, kind of to stay in line with all my other money stuff, with the information of whatever video or call you want them to watch. Make it. Have it ready to hand out. Have a pile of them. Don't put it in their folders. Hand it out. Home hostess coach every hostess to get her to watch the video is number 5. And number 6, get the marketing plan in front of as many as you can each week. Get an accountability partner. Tell your mom and premier your goal. How many do you want to do each week? And then actually do it. Full marketing plan. Either an OP, group OP, or getting them to watch the video and you follow up with them with the video and do the dance. What's your number? Overcome objection. What's your number? Overcome objection. Okay? So hopefully you got a lot of tangible information to chomp on and go and check out. So thank you, ladies.